So welcome to day 93 of scaling my marketing agency to 10k a month. We are in the last stages before essentially moving back, me quitting my job, and essentially, getting all my time back, and really thinking forward to the next few months. I will be back in Essex, like where I'm from in like pretty much 2 weeks from now. I'll be preparing all my stuff for moving out, doing my last couple of shifts, and then going. And then I shall be off to back there from like the 20th, and then I will be there from like the 20th of April. I'll be there May, June, July, and then August is when my girlfriend moves to Paris, and I will essentially try and be there as much as possible. Obviously, visa and law and regulations permitting, meaning that I can only be there for a maximum of around half of that time. But yeah, it's going to be really good. It means that I can have the summer months to myself in a sense, which means that I can do essentially as much or as little work as I like based on my goals, which obviously my goals for it are very high, and therefore I'll be doing a lot of work. And I think I have been kind of struggling with some of that like recently in terms of, it's not even work ethic, it's just getting in the way of myself. I think it's a kind of identity shift in a way, and holding on to like my past like identity and self in a way. What I mean by that is the fact that over the last kind of 6 months essentially, my life has changed like dramatically, and who I am as a person is changing in a better way, like only like subtleties, but in terms of like fundamental belief systems, a lot of those are changing, despite the fact that I guess if I was to see like an old friend, like I would still, like on the personality and that side of things, fairly the same and similar as I was before. But I think in terms of fundamentally what I believe and my goals and stuff like that, they've all kind of just gone up and up. And my standards of myself have gone up and up. And that's why it becomes so much more difficult when parts of kind of my old self pull me down, and I find it so hard to come to terms with that, because I'm like, well, that's not who I am, or who I want to like be going forward, and therefore like what's going on? What do I do about it? So they were all that kind of the things, and I think for a few days after this, even because I'm having to go back a little bit to record these, you'll see that as a recurring theme, but always like get through it and pick myself up beyond that, and therefore things will continue to move forward. But hey, what's growth without it having those kind of bumps, and things like this don't go linearly, but it is still going up and in the right direction, even if that doesn't mean that every hour of every day is a productive moment. But yeah, ultimately in the months going forward, I'm going to have 80 hours a month back. That's 20 hours a week, that I have more time available. I'm able to start to think about things like even fitness, about health and stuff like that. That's something that I've realised recently has been something I've kind of neglected a little bit. Physical health has been, in terms of like exercise, has been completely out the window the last 6 months. But healthy eating hasn't been too bad. Could always be better, of course. But I think not being independent in terms of like living back at home, I think potentially that could be more of a struggle. But exercising could be a lot easier in terms of there's more time in the day and availability to me to be able to, go for a run or, do something like that. I'm not sure I'll like rejoin a gym, but to do something like that, probably that'll be good. So yeah, seems weird. I've kind of described it as like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, because it's kind of like, moving back with the parents, like that doesn't seem like a necessarily a positive thing, but I'm going back in a much better position, and I'm going back only essentially because it makes like a lot of sense in terms of I can, yeah, secure the progress that I'm making with the business, and obviously with the fact that my girlfriend's doing the study abroad and got a year after that of uni until she'll be finished with that and moving into career, it makes sense that I'm just at home, stabilizing myself and my situation, so then we can move forth in the next coming years and have a full plan there. But yeah, today in terms of what happened, I had an update with one of my clients and then did an evening shift of about 6 hours. So yeah, soon enough I won't need to be doing those. That'd be great.